We need to talk about money because you're about to find out that you've been told a lie, a really big one. A lie so fundamental, it pretty much changes how you see, well, everything. So let's dive in. Now, chew on that for a second. This isn't going to be some dry explainer on economics. No, no. This is about memory. It's about trust. It's about the hidden wiring of human civilization itself. And we are about to pull back the curtain on the whole thing. All right, Act 1, The Great Barter Lie. We're going to start by taking a sledgehammer to the very first story we all learn about where money comes from. Turns out it's a complete fairy tale. You know the story, right? We've all heard it. In the beginning, there was barter. You've got some chickens, I've got a cow, we want to trade. But what if I don't need chickens today? That's the famous double coincidence of wants. And voila, money gets invented to make everything smooth and easy. It's a neat story, it's logical, and it's completely, totally wrong. Here's the thing. When anthropologists like David Graeber actually went looking for this ancient world of barter, they found nothing. Zilch. Not a single society has ever been found that was based on it. Instead, what they found was that small communities ran on what was basically a social tab, a complex system of favors, gifts, and IOUs. Community credit. Barter did happen, but it was super rare and usually between strangers who didn't trust each other. So if that story is a complete myth, it kind of begs the question, right? Why do we all believe it? Well, maybe because it's a convenient story. It hides the much darker, much stranger truth of where money actually came from. And this is where our story takes a sharp turn. Welcome to Act 2. See, money wasn't born from friendly neighbors trying to trade eggs. It was forged in violence. It was a tool for armies and empires. Here's the real playbook. Step 1, a king needs to feed a huge roaming army. Step 2, he stamps his face on little metal discs and pays his soldiers with them. But how do you make those useless discs valuable? Step 3, and this is the brilliant, brutal part, you demand that all your subjects pay their taxes in those exact same coins. And suddenly, step 4, everybody, every farmer, every merchant, is desperately trying to sell stuff to the soldiers to get the coins they need to avoid being thrown in a dungeon. And boom, just like that, an entire market economy is created. Not by choice, but by force. So think about that. The original purpose of money wasn't to trade with your neighbor Bob. It was to settle a debt with a very powerful, very distant entity that you probably didn't trust, the state. It wasn't a tool of convenience. It was a tool of control. Okay, let's fast forward from ancient empires to right now. Because if you thought that was weird, the way money is created today is pure magic. This is Act 3, the modern magic trick. Seriously, have you ever really thought about it? When you get a mortgage for a house, for hundreds of thousands of dollars, where does that money actually come from? Now, the story we tell ourselves is that banks are just middlemen. They take the money that savers deposit, your grandmother's savings, and they lend that same money out to borrowers. It's a nice, simple, comforting image. And it's completely false. I mean, even the Bank of England put out a paper in 2014 admitting it. Banks do not, I repeat, do not lend out existing money. What they do is something that feels impossible. When a bank approves your loan, a loan officer literally just types the numbers into your account. And in that instant, brand new money is created out of thin air. It's called fountain pen money because it used to be created with a stroke of a pen. These days, it's just a few keystrokes. The loan creates the deposit, not the other way around. And if you think this is some small corner of the financial system, get this. About 97% of all the money in our economy is this digital money, created by private banks when they make loans. The physical cash in your wallet, the coins and notes, that's only about 3% of the total. It's basically a rounding error. Okay, so let's recap. Money's origin story is a lie, its history is violent, and its modern creation is a magic trick. So why on earth do we even need this stuff? Well, Act 4 gets to the real reason, and it has everything to do with the limits of the human brain. It all comes down to this number, 150. This single number explains how it's even possible for millions of strangers to live together in a city like Tokyo or London without total chaos. It's called Dunbar's number. It's the idea that our brains are basically hardwired to only handle about 150 stable relationships. In a small tribe of that size, you can keep track of everything in your head: who's trustworthy, who owes who a favor, who's a freeloader. Your brain is the ledger. But once you get beyond 150 people, your internal social hard drive just crashes. So how do you build a civilization with millions or even billions of people? You can't. Not with the software we're born with. You need an upgrade. You need to outsource that social ledger to an external technology. And that technology is money.
And that's the big reveal. Money is a cognitive tool. It is humanity's external hard drive. Every dollar, every coin is just a piece of data. It's a token of trust, a memory of a favor that you've done for society that you can then redeem with any other stranger anywhere in the world. It's the technology that lets us scale.
And that brings us to our final act. Because right now, as we speak, this technology is going through its next absolutely mind-bending evolution. The very nature of trust is being rewritten. See, for the last few thousand years, our external hard drive has been run by institutions, by governments, by banks. We had to trust them to keep the ledger honestly. But now, a new system is emerging. A system where we don't have to trust people or institutions anymore. We can just trust math. We're moving from institutional trust to algorithmic trust. And this changes everything. This new money can be programmable. You can build rules right into it. It's transparently trackable on a public ledger, but the killer feature is that it's trustless. That doesn't mean it's sketchy. It means you don't need to trust a person in the middle. You just need to trust that the code, the math, will do what it says it will do. So let's end with this one thought. The story of money, from our own brains to the coins of kings, to the digits in a bank, and now to algorithmic code, it has always been a story about trust. Money isn't the thing we trade. It's the system for deciding who we trust. And that system is changing faster than ever right now.